and welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. It is a glorious day. The weather has been very changeable of late. We've had, over the weekend, it's Monday today. I started fishing yesterday around midday on Sunday, and it's now about sort of half nine in the morning, and it is roasting hot. High pressure again, very warm, very sunny, and fish are going to be cruising. They're not really going to be sort of putting their heads down too much for feed time round now. So I want to do something different. I've got two PVA bags out on my rods. On my third rod, I'm going to be checking out what's called a Zig Rig. Now the swim I'm in is quite shallow. It's only about 3 feet deep at the most. So I would be looking to fish this Zig about 2 foot up off the lead. A lot of weed on the bottom, huge amount of weed. So if any passing fish are just cruising around, they do have a habit of taking zigs this time of year. So it might wink me out a bonus fish. So I'm going to look at a few things that are available from Main Irish Angling that will help you start your Zig Rig fishing. And this is applicable to any of the carp lakes, doesn't matter whether it's commercial or not. Carp of any size love zigs. I mean, I remember fishing Moylestown and fishing pop-ups just underneath the surface. You used to catch a lot of the bigger fish that way. So anyway, basically the hook I'm going to use, I want something quite small because the Zig is quite small. So I'm going to use a Stronghold, Solar Stronghold X-wide gape hook. This is retailing at €2.15 for 10 hooks from MIA. Now, hooks are really small but needle sharp, and they're very, very strong. They'll land absolutely anything that swims. Even though you're going quite small, it is a small hook, it will land anything. I'm going to use that in conjunction with the Fox Ziggerliner kit. Now the Ziggerliner kit is retailing at €6.64, and for that you get 6 different little systems here, and you also have then the foam. I saw these at a show in the UK, Carping On show. I have to say, on paper, in the magazines, I looked at these and went, who would fish with them and why would you use them? I just don't get them. Having seen them in the test tanks on the Fox stand at the show, yeah, completely changed my mind on how they looked in the water. They look bug-like, and I have to say, they have been doing very, very well catching fish around the UK. Now, in conjunction with that, I'm going to use the Cruiser Control dedicated floater line from Corda. This is a 12-pound line. It's a 0.33, so it will be quite invisible in the water, and that's retailing at €6.10. So all good value there. I mean, the kit, will get you going. Will get, €15 will have you up and running with all the stuff you need for zig fishing. So what I'll do is I'm going to set it all up and I'm going to show you the components. The other thing I'm going to use with it is actually attached to the lead clip is one of these Avid Carp PVA links. These are retailing at €4.35, and there's a 10 in the packet. And these allow you put on a PVA bag very quickly and easily onto the end of your rig. Real good for this type of fishing. And in my PVA bag, I'm going to use some of the Solar up and down mix. Now the up and down mix is purpose made for zig fishing. It is absolutely wicked stuff. What you get for this, now this isn't cheap, but you don't use much at a go, and therefore it can actually work out good value for money. It's retailing at $14.60 for a kilo bag, and in that you get 250 mils of liquid. They come in all different flavors. This happens to be the pineapple one. It contains hydroactive bedrock in it. So what happens is as the PVA melts, you get over a number of hours. It just doesn't happen all in one hit. It's active for a long, long time, and you get bits going up and coming down and going up again in the water column. So if a fish is moving through, it'll see particles of food in an area, and it'll help it come in and investigate. And if your zig is then sitting up in the middle of that, who knows, you might nobble a nice fish. So we're going to mix some of this up and I'll show you that in action as well. So the rig is really simple. It's a Corda lead onto a safety clip, and on here you can see the PVA, Avid PVA link. It's a real simple little piece, and I'll show you how that works in a second. But that's them there, a really dinky little thing to have. So you have all these little components. Basically these are like liner liners. So what you do is you take your hook that you've tied onto your mono and you thread down the liner part. You pull your hook in, so you have the zig bit just slightly up the shank. So that's that bit done. And what you then do is you take a little tool here and you put that into the actual hoop part of the liner. It's a bit fiddly, and you just kind of pull over until you get your piece of foam on. Now obviously it's going to kind of wrap round and sit round awkwardly at first, and then you just cut the foam to whatever length you want, and that is her. Now, as I say, when you look at that, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look like you could catch a fish. But when it's in the water, it kind of takes on like a bug-like look, and absolutely wicked looking in the water. So let's get her in, let's have a look. So this is the solar up and down mix. Absolutely cracking stuff. I'm going to show you how to make it up. You don't need to make it up all in one go. Put some into your bowl. Take the cap off the Big Shot high attraction liquid. Pour some in. This is where you've got to get down and dirty. Mix it up. Now the idea is to have this reasonably dryish. I mean, you're only looking to moisten it. You don't really want it binding too heavily. And you just mix that all together. Now you're better off mixing it up for a while, let it really soak through. If you know you're fishing the next day, I'd nearly say mix it up overnight. And it's as simple as that. That's well mixed through now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some PVA, and I'm just going to put a nice little bag out, compact it down, push it out, Now, this is the, let me get rid of that bowl so you can see a bit better. This is the PVA link I was telling you about. So all you do is you push that through there with a knot, come back and pull, and that's locked in tight. That means now you can cast out your rig. It's going to sit by the lead, and it's going to dissolve where you need it to dissolve.